Hello there. Welcome to my show, COVID-19 update by Heerak for November 4, 2020. Um, yeah, it's a new chapter. It's a day after election day. So I am headed to November 8, 2022 election. As you know, every 2 years, US Congressmen run for re-election. So in 2022, Don Beyer, who was elected yesterday to be a U.S. Congressman for another 2 more years, will be up for re-election, and I will again run against him in 2022. Hey, Don. Greetings from Egypt. Actually, I'm not in Egypt, but hey, it feels like I'm in Egypt with the music going and the background going. Egypt is one of the coolest places I've been to. And Don, I'm sure you visited Egypt. If not, you should definitely visit Egypt because Egypt is a cool place. But yeah, so I give a shout out to my competition, Don Bayar. Yeah. So how do you like our new look here? COVID-19 update for Iraq. New look for a new election cycle. Um, yeah. Today is King Tut Day. You didn't even know that there was a King Tut Day, did you? But yes, it is King Tut Day. Um, Ergo, the Egyptian background and Egyptian music. But Egyptian music and Egyptian background, they highlight the fact that Egyptian culture is kind of cool. Um, yeah, um, yeah, we are still in the middle of COVID-19. We are just beginning our flu season. So it's going to be really, 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 really bad. We have 6 more months of flu season to go. Um, you know, um, Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen exactly. My prediction is that 3 million Americans to 30 million Americans will die from COVID-19 in the next 6 months if the whole country doesn't shut down. Well, I mean, certainly outbreak areas will shut down. Um, but probably the whole country has to shut down. But I mean, state by state, the governors need to shut down. Yeah, I mean, how many people die will be determined by that, unfortunately. Um, in the last 24 hours, we have 1,125 COVID-19 deaths in United States of America. So we have 233,663 deaths so far. Uh, yeah, it's bad. It's a quarter million people. And confirmed cases are at 9,480,292. Yeah, it's bad. Um, yeah, election hasn't been decided yet. Yeah, election took place yesterday, but it has not been decided. So we don't know who won, at least for the presidential race. There are a lot. Well, a lot of surprises. You know, yeah. I guess with absentee voting and early voting, they're like just I don't know how they're counting that. It's a little bit fishy, but you know, yeah, there were some surprises. I thought Alicia won Virginia 10th district, but she lost. I thought, my buddy Daniel Gade won U.S. Senate, but he lost. It's like, somebody's just saying psych. Do you remember psych? Give me five. Psych. You know, I don't know. I feel pretty upset because, I like Daniel Gade. I think he would make far better senator than Mark Warner. So, it's a bumming, you know, uh, but he got quite a number of votes. He probably could have won. Uh, just given a few more factors, he could have won. Alicia was pretty close too. Alicia Andrews, she could have won. I mean, I think both Daniel Gade and Alicia could have won. Um, yeah, so it's a bumming thing, but I mean, they did get a lot of votes, so they're very, very close. Um, it seems like the presidential race is going to be closer than in 2016. Isn't that weird? Yeah, it's like a very, very like knife edge close, almost. It's incredible. That the country is like divided into half. I guess that it's good. I mean, if everybody agrees, it's not a democracy; it's more like a totalitarianism. So it's good that we have divisions, but yeah, in democracy, people don't agree. People are not united. That's what makes democracy democracy. But yeah, I'm kind of curious who's going to win. Who do you think will win? Do you think President Trump will win? Do you think Tin Man Joe will win? Yeah, I mean, we may find out tomorrow. We may find out the day after that. Yeah, it's like it's a cliffhanger. Who would have thought U.S. presidential race could be like such a cliffhanger, right? Right? You probably didn't expect that in a million years. Um, there are top five COVID-19 cases in Africa. Not a cliffhanger there, because Africa is doing very well as a continent in surviving COVID-19. South Africa is number one, and they're the worst case scenario in Africa. Um, they have 730,548 cases, a 3% death rate. They have 19,585 deaths. And Morocco has 235,310 cases and 38,982 deaths, 2% death rate. Um, Egypt is number three with 108,329 cases and 6,318 deaths, a 6% death rate. It is the highest death rate in Africa. But because the cases are low, deaths are lower than South Africa. So you have more cases, you're going to have more death. It's just the way things are in a pandemic. So you got to keep the cases down if you want to survive. Yeah, can I get a five on keeping cases down? Um, Ethiopia has 97,881 cases, 1,503 deaths. So that's about one day's tally in America. Libya, yeah, I'm drinking root beer. Some say root beer came from like, Africa. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about history of root beers or sodas, but yeah, if you love sodas, I do love sodas. Maybe I should look it up. you know, um, the term "Google it" became a term. Google it, Google it. Now it's like like a natural thing to say. Just Google it, right? Um, Maybe I should Google it. I haven't Googled it yet. Where does root beer come from? But Libya, we know the history of Libya because we saw Gaddafi. Um, Libya only has 64,587 cases. Look at the death rate, 900. That's it. So that's top five. There are countries in Africa with zero COVID deaths. Can you believe that? There are countries in Africa with zero COVID deaths. Yeah, I don't know. It must be like a mystery of the pyramids. Um, but that's not the case in America, unfortunately. Um, yeah, today's heading is entitled COVID-19 USA, COVID-19 and the 2020 general election. General election isn't over yet. People are still counting. Um, yeah, but we have two major things happening right now. Um, the first article, Iowans need to act now to reduce uncontrolled COVID-19 spread, report says. COVID-19 is spreading uncontrolled all over America right now. Don't believe the liberal media, which makes it sound like it's not that serious. It's very, very serious right now in America. That's why I'm Heerak Christian Kim, independent candidate for US Congress, Virginia's 8th district. I may run as a Republican. I'm still considering, maybe I'll run as a Republican. I don't know. I may run as an independent for 2022. Um, Running as a Republican will give me the machinery power, the party's machinery will be there. Um, I have to pray about it and see, where God leads me. But yeah, I mean, probably, who knows? I may end up forming my own party, political party in America, if that's God's will. Or, who knows? Maybe I'll run as a Constitution Party member. Yeah, there are different other parties, other conservative parties who participate in CPAC. Um, yeah, let's see. Let's see what God has in store. The article um, is from ABC 9 KCRG in Iowa. And the significant quote is White House Coronavirus Task Force officials used urgent wording in guidance issued to state officials in Iowa as the spread of virus continues to worsen, according to a new weekly report. The document, which was released to all 50 states on Sunday, November 1st, and obtained by ABC News, painted a bleak picture as key metrics such as newly detected cases, test positivity rate, and the number of tests conducted continue to trend in the wrong direction during the week of October 24th to October 31. The task force specifically asked state officials to issue clear messages to Iowans, including no contact without a mask with anybody who does not live in your household. 100% mask usage in public places and no gatherings beyond the people in your own house until test positivity and case rates decrease. Yeah, yeah, things are bad in America in terms of COVID-19 spreading. Um, we have 6 more months of flu season to go, so I'm predicting that all the hospitals will fill up by November. This area hospital, Virginia Hospital Center, where I work as a nurse. Today I work from 7 a.m. to to actually it went longer because there were certain things that we had to take care of today. Because you work at a hospital, things come up. So yeah, so I was there later than usual, but generally it's like 7 to 7:30. Um, yeah, so about Fairfax Hospital, um, about Alexandria Hospital, MedStar, Georgetown Hospital, um, MedStar Washington Hospital Center, Children's National Hospital, George Washington University Hospital, Sibley Hospital. They're all going to fill up in November. This is November right now. Yeah, we're going to see a spike in cases. Yeah, we have 6 more months till flu season to go. So it's horrific. It's horrific. Yeah. So yeah, you probably should worry if you're an American citizen. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, what can you say? States are not shutting down. I mean, I blame the governors because they could shut down the state. Um, so the significant quote from that is Johns Hopkins University. So United States breaks record for daily COVID-19 cases, right? That's in Algeria. Um, so significant quote from that is um, Johns Hopkins University, which tracks the virus separately, also said that the US reached a new daily record with 99,660 new cases in the past 24 hours. The pandemic has affected nearly every aspect of American life and prompted a record number of people to vote early or use postal votes in Tuesday's presidential election, with a winner yet to be declared. Um, yeah, so I mean, Dr. Fauci is probably saying, "I told you so." So he said we're going to go to 100,000, so we're basically there, which is a serious issue of concern, because more cases, more death, right? In the winter time, you could have 10% death rate. That's what we had during winter. Um, so if you have 100,000 cases in the winter, at 10%, 10,000 people will die in a day. So that's what it means. So it's pretty serious. Um, Cases could get to 200,000 cases per day, right? I mean, now we're at 100,000, and states are not shutting down, so we could get to 200,000. At 10% death rate, that's 20,000 people dying per day. Um, the third article is college student with COVID-19 found dead in dorm room while quarantine. That's going to happen to a lot of college students in the next 6 months of COVID-19, right? 6 months. It's flu season. In flu season, you're going to have a lot of death. 6 more months of flu season. This is COVID-19 flu season. So, yeah, we're going to see a lot of people die. Um, and colleges, I warned you, I warned you and said if you don't close the colleges down, um, you're going to have a lot of dead students. I've said that many times. That's why I worked hard to close down Georgetown University because, I have a lot of friends at Georgetown, so I don't want anybody at Georgetown to die, the Hoyas. Um, and so, I worked like 3 months in the summer to close the school down. They were originally going to bring like freshmen to campus, all the freshmen, like thousands of freshmen to campus. And I say, that's just not right. I mean, COVID-19 is a pandemic and people can die. Um, Thankfully, Georgetown listened to me and they decided not to bring any student on campus, um, with few exceptions. But the campus is closed, and no undergraduates, no graduate students are taking classes at Georgetown University campus. Um, but there are colleges where students are taking classes. We're looking at cases where students are going to die in large numbers. As I said, hospitals will fill up in Virginia Hospital Center, Fairfax Hospital, Alexandria Hospital, MedStar Georgetown University Hospital, MedStar Washington Hospital Center, George Washington University Hospital, Children's National Hospital, Sibley Hospital in this area. Um, and a lot of people are going to die in these hospitals. But hospitals are going to be so full, you know, you can't admit more patients because it's overflowing. So there are patients who are going to die, in their home, in their college dormitories. Um, yeah, so it's going to be bad. So here's an example of what you can expect in every state, in every college. Uh, so we have 6 more months of flu season to go, and COVID-19 will be far more deadly in the flu season as we kind of go into the depth of flu season. So yeah, it's going to be horrific. That's why I'm saying 3 million Americans to 30 million Americans will die from COVID-19 because flu season it can be horrific. Um, yeah, so the article from New York Post, an Indiana college student who was quarantining after testing positive for coronavirus was found dead in her dorm room. According to a report, Bethany Nisbet, 20 years old, was found in a residential hall at Grace College on October 30th, according to the Charlotte Observer. A medical examiner said COVID-19 played a role in her passing. I mean, COVID-19 is known to give strokes in 20-year-olds, right? Um, they haven't really released full report, but she might have had a mini stroke, and then maybe brain aneurysm, and then she died. Because once you have a stroke, you could die of brain aneurysm, like fluid in the brain, uh, can become a problem where you end up dead. Um, yeah, so all kinds of things can happen. Um, yeah, it's going to be horrific. I feel bad for college students who are on campus in their college because it's going to be horrific. We have 6 more months of flu season to go. Um, yeah, I mean, I wish I don't want to lie to you. I want you to know what's going on right now, and I want you to know what you can expect, right? It's just more cases, you're going to have more death. So it's going to be horrific. Um, yeah. Try to socially isolate, to socialize physically only with your, household, like people who live with you. Um, Otherwise, Skype, Zoom, those are the best way. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad right now, and it's going to get worse. Um, And we have 6 more months of flu season to go. So it's going to keep getting worse and worse for 6 months. Um, yeah, it's going to be bad. So, just try to socially isolate. I think that's the best way to survive COVID. Um, I mean, we've had epidemics before. We know that they spread from people to people. So isolating people, that's or not getting in contact with a lot of people. That's the best way to go. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, yeah. What can I say? I mean, I don't believe in the liberal media, which states that it's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. I mean, geez, some people like to say things are going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. Um, you know, I mean, don't you want the truth? I mean, don't you want to know what you're facing right now? What you can expect? Um, yeah, I mean, when people are faced with their death, the best thing to do is give them the truth. Um, I feel like that's the best way to go. Um, yeah, but I created this show on April 2nd, 2020 to save you and your children from COVID-19. So in a sense, like by encouraging you to socially isolate and just physically, socially socialize only with your household, people who live with you in your home, I'm kind of providing you with a way to survive COVID, right? So in a sense, this show is important because it kind of gives you a pathway to survival. See what I'm saying? Um, you know, this is based on evidence-based research. People have researched global pandemics for a long time, for centuries. So you know, um, it's based on evidence. Um, I'll bring you more interesting facts and figures tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow. Um, in the meanwhile, I guess I'll bid you adieu. Yeah, I'm going to hit the hay, because it's been a long day, but I mean, I care about you guys. So I want you guys to have information that's gonna help you survive COVID. So anyway, yeah, I hope you're well and that your family is well. And I guess I will see you tomorrow. Bye.